Hi, 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 hi. Five highs from Y. I am just thankful to be awake and alert this morning and just decided that I needed to just say hello. Yesterday, many of you all may not have realized it, but it was National Grief Awareness Day that's celebrated every August the 30th of the year. And so I did not do a video. I actually used some of my videos from last year or for previous years as a way to acknowledge the grief and learning how to just sometimes just be quiet. And today I am thinking about this last day of August. September is one of those months where I am really working through some situations, and I'll be talking about those during the month of September. So I wanted to do a series on my YouTube Grief Awareness channel, Wise Grief Community Advocacy 2020, as I am preparing for a series of just conversations talking to you about how important it is to, as we hear so many times, live one day at a time, and also be, be prepared for the unthinkables. We don't like to talk about the preparing for death, but if you are anywhere on the planet, you know that this last week we had a young man who seemed to be so talented, and at the age of 43, after dealing with cancer for 4 years, uh, he died. And that's, uh, well, I can't think of his name right now, but I'll come back to that. Um, but Chadwick, thank you. Some days it just goes out even before I think about it. But just thinking about what all of the things that are being said about him, all of the means, all of the accolades that he has given. And I think what was so important to me was one gentleman said, I sure hope he heard some of these things while he was alive. And so that was what I was thinking about today is if there is someone that perhaps you need to just say, I love you, uh, and I'm thinking about you, and I just want you to know that I have requested blessings for you. Do that today on this last day of August. I don't want to even go into all the cliches that we hear day in and day out about our life, but I can say, as far as me, I say it is one day at a time, one day at a time. So I'm going to celebrate today. I'm all excited. Today I'm going to be doing some Zoom windows, just talking about reimagining uh, how I am dealing with things that I have lost and things that I know that God has also set up for me. I'm going to say it because I haven't talked about it in a while. As you know, my husband and I compiled a book, Redeeming Grace. Look how far God has brought us. And he only had an opportunity to enjoy the published book for about 3 months. But I can look at that book and remember so many of the wonderful things that we celebrated. And so even though our anniversary, we only had 44 years and a couple of months, I'm still going to celebrate in September the acknowledging the 45 years of our marriage, or the 45 years, or even, I think I'm going to change it now because we actually had 10 years before we married. So I can always say I've got 55 years of memories and all of the things that go with that. So I wanted to do that as my Wise Grief Community Advocacy 2020 say so, as I am continuing to listen and learn. And thank you so much for all of you all who support me. Even if you don't hear all of the message, just to say that, yes, I acknowledge that God is blessing you and that you love to tell about it. So have a wonderful day this day. Remember, one day at a time, but most certainly share it with someone you love, someone you know, and someone that is your future.